Directly to Mr. Cunningham, if Beaport is so anxious to coexist and work together with the local businesses, why did Mr. Davis aggressively pursue purchasing property from Laro's Lobster Company, the building that now houses North Atlantic Seafood, Felicia Oil directly across the street? Rather than coexisting and working together, he literally made an effort to buy them out. Is that your idea of coexisting and working together?
Well, I think the answer to that is that a property owner is free to do what they want to do with their property.
Absolutely. If he's had enough, he could buy the whole block.
So listen.
Sure.
The Mortellaro property is abutting this site. And it makes some sense from a real estate point of view to explore whether that property was available.
Sure.
So we had those discussions, and I think in good faith on both sides, it just didn't make sense. So it didn't happen. And so we've designed this project to pull our buildings back from there, to create some space between them. And that, I think, is an example of the coexistence. Now, there's other properties that were for sale, or the business was phasing out. And so there were discussions
well,
then.
The particular properties I mentioned were Felicia Oil and the North Atlantic.
Finish.
Sure. Sure.
So that's really the answer. We've had discussions with owners. They've chosen not to sell, or we've chosen not to buy. And that's the way it's been.
Thank you.
Thank you. And again, if we can have your name first when you're asking a question. Sir.
Hi, my name is Peter Fabaza. I own the property at 10 Fort Square. It's the property directly across the street where you're putting the generators in your HVAC, and that's going to be the view of my tenants. My concern is the sound level that's going to be coming out of there and the aesthetics. I know that my understanding is that it's going to come under the laws of sound levels for industrial, but maybe not for residential. And my concern also is having that equipment there, how is that going to impact parking for my tenants directly in front of my house, because it's going to create a bottleneck.
Thank you, Peter. So on the sound levels, residential versus industrial, and the parking in relationship to tenants. Is that you, John?
Well, let me start. The city has a noise ordinance that governs generators. And the purpose of this generator is for emergencies. Because if you have a storm and a power outage, you want to be able to power the exit signs and the lights in the parking lot and the parking garage, and you want to be able to preserve safety for the. So that's the purpose for this. I mean, we're not putting in a generator for just the fun of it. The generator has to comply with, and I've had discussions with the city's building inspector about it, has to comply with the noise ordinance. And this generator would only go on in emergencies, except that there are provisions that say that if you have an emergency generator, it needs to be tested once a week for a short period of time. And that period of time is adjustable. We could work with you of when it made sense to do this. It's something like a 10-minute period in which the generator runs without load on it, just to be sure that it works.
Does it work with the ordinance of industrial or residential? Because I'm directly across the street from it. I pay the price.
Not only that, we've had power.
Can you address that?
Sure. Yeah. Well, the noise ordinance, we didn't write the noise ordinance. The noise ordinance applies in the MI district. And you're right, there's a differential between industrial districts and residential districts. The generator, you asked too about the aesthetics of it. I don't know if you had a chance to look at the plans and talk with Sandy Perkins and Will, the architects, about them. But that generator is going to be behind a fence, and then there is a row of trees planted in front of it. And we'd be very happy to talk with you specifically about that so that you can see what we're doing.
Okay. Thank you. Michael, I want to get to you next, but I just want to continue this line of questioning. Ma'am, did you have a question?
Well,
so we can finish this?
my concern is, you're saying that it's running for a 15-minute period to test it for a week. But if the power goes out for 2 or 3 days, the tenants are going to have to listen to this generator consistently for 2 or 3 days.
And your name was?
My name is Nancy Mavaza.
All right, Nancy, thanks. John, you want to just address that also?
Yeah, I think this, ma'am?
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I think the answer is that if there is a 2-day power outage, that generator probably will be going during that period. But it's probably a stormy period as well.
Not necessarily. We could have had the storm and you know, had a disaster or something here in town, and it could be out for 2
I think
days.
the other consideration. No, I understand. And it's a valid point. But I think you also have to look around town, and since we started talking about generators, I've been looking for generators, and they're frankly all over the place. They're at the hospitals, they're at the nursing homes, they're all at the Gloucester Housing Authority. The new Central Grammar revision has one out in the parking lot.
So how close in proximity are these generators to residential houses? They're not 25 feet across the street.
Well, I think if you drive by the back of the Central Grammar property, you'll see that that's exactly where it is. And it's not screened by a fence, and it's not screened by trees. And in talking with the architects, the exhaust system on these is muffled, and this problem would exist for any generator in any location. I think there's a real effort on our part and on the designers and manufacturers of generators to handle that issue.
Okay, so sir, is yours on the noise of the generator?
Correct.
No, I need to give everyone a chance, and if we get everyone, then we'll swing back around, or you can put it up on the card. So just hold on a second. So if it's on the generator and the noise, just to continue, and your name, please.
My name is John Sultan, 30 Eastern Avenue. Eastern Avenue is pretty far apart, but the project on the generator, the question on the floor is, what's the decibel of the generator going to be, okay, totally, if the generator goes on during the winter, in the middle of the night, and they need electricity for 12 hours, 24 hours, you're in New England, and that possibly could happen, number one. Number two, when you test a generator, an auxiliary generator, it automatically goes on 5 minutes or a certain amount of time. In doing so, they don't want to be woken up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because your generator is testing. So time, and if the decibel is over the ordinance, or in their ear over the ordinance, and they say that it's bothering my kids, it's disturbing the situation, they should be able to say to you, and it should be in writing, that we need it moved to a location that is less offensive for everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
Appreciate that. So, because you're taking time away. Time and decibels, again, back to the generator.
but it has to be in writing.
John?
Yes, sir.
As part of the special permit process, those kind of specifications can be incorporated.
Correct.
That's
But I mean, it has to be highlighted, written down prior to the committee listening to something like that. They have to understand of that concept.
Yes.
Okay.
Just so you understand, in this
I
process.
do understand, sir.
In the process,
Yes,
we're
sir.
at the
Yes, sir.
beginning of this process, and
Yep.
the city has retained a third-party reviewer
Correct.
who's going to look at all of these plans and really delve into these questions. And all of these
It's
questions.
like a bargaining committee.
Okay. So, on the timing, my understanding from talking to the architects is...
These people...
Excuse me, sir. Let's want to finish.
It'd be just easier if I could
Correct.
finish my answer.
Correct.
Go ahead.
I apologize.
That's right. The timing can be set so that it's Wednesday at 1 p.m. or the time when there's a lot of other ambient noise, industrial noise. You wouldn't set this to run at night. It wouldn't be good for you, anybody else in the neighborhood, or for the hotel for that matter. So we could specify the time range, and we could work with you to just determine Wednesday at 1 o'clock. I don't know. We could pick something.
Okay,
But when people are at work,
into the permits, the specifications.
Thank you very much.
And all that, the opportunities. Mike?
Michael Fayette, and I'm Special with Lara Lobster. Could you just confirm that this hotel is going to be built on piles? And if so, how big a pile field will be necessary to support the structure? How will you drive the piles? And how long will it take to drive that pile field?
Engineering on the piles.
Oh, okay.
Danny?
Yeah. Currently, the plan is that there are going to be sheet piles that will be driven to the edge of the property where the current bird's eye building resides. And that,
Clear about what edge.
this is the beach side, not the commercial street side, but the beach side.
I understand
The edge
about
of
the
the
sheet
building.
piles. I'm talking about the support piles, not the sheet piles.
Right now, we have several designs that are on the table that haven't been finalized. One design would have a portion of the site on probably wood piles, maybe not. And then the back side of the site, or the site facing Commercial Street, could actually be spread footings. Currently, the bird's eye building itself is on spread footings. It's not on piles. So we're still evaluating our options. And
How big will the pile field be that you're contemplating in one of the designs?
Well, at one point we had 60 piles, but then we found out that we could actually have spread footings, so it's probably going to be less than that if we even choose that as a system. Okay?
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tricia, and I watch the beach in the fall and the winter. Will there be any blasting done in your development of your hotel?